This is me again, calling from Dubrava, my neighborhood. And as I promised, I've got an interesting subject to talk with you about. And I would also like to include you if you would like to get inside the room or maybe talk with me. I've got I will show you this link because somehow I cherish or find it more interesting and more appealing, and to make this all interactive and to talk with you actually, with by using this link. You can enter this room and comment live if you would like to, and also you can also always post comments or ask me anything. I've decided to talk today about a topic that's still, how should I say, being discussed a lot in the media. Even yesterday, I have read an article by The Guardian. I love to read The Guardian alongside Economist and Telegraph and Quartz. They provide unbiased, I would say, objective news which we find lacking in Croatia at the moment. So it's always crucial to know whom you can trust and from which source you can derive your information. And this is why just glanced at it. I read through Guardian's article about the poet laureate. I think I'm not sure how it is pronounced, but poets um, have been called on stage. Have been called more and more to the stage, not just any kind of stage. It was the inauguration stage on this Tuesday in America, where you had the opportunity to listen to one of there in America, it's said the greatest minds, the greatest poets living this time in America. America has national poets. It gives this recognition of the titles. This poet laureate. She is one of them, and I'm talking about Amanda Gorman. She's a poet who had the opportunity to step on stage and recite one of her poems. We're talking about recitals, not readings. So that means that poets who step on stage do not read word for word, and then they just maybe look at the audience from time to time when they can, but they recite the poem, which is a far more demanding work. Not many poets, I think, can do that. In Croatia, there is some kind of a tradition where poets gather on actually this Saturday, when if there had not been any pandemic and lockdown, they would actually gather in Gornji Grad. They have been gathering around locations and spots this every Saturday, and the readings and recitals of their poems actually lasted till 3 p.m. So it would start at 11 a.m. and it would end then at 3 p.m. I also had the opportunity to not just be there and sit down and hear these poets and hear their work. I also had the opportunity to read my own because, among other things, I've been writing poetry, not intensively, not very often, but I do have my own work, unpublished, of course, because for poems to get published, they need to be very polished. They have to go through a lot of editing, and I mean, I could give it out to the public maybe. I'm somehow too critical of my writing, and this is why I refrain from doing it. And reading poetry is very challenging thing. It's not only challenging, but it is also very I mean, you feel a lot of adrenaline, and you feel excitement. I would say even more before you come on to the stage, or come on before the audience, because you know that it's your turn, or sometimes turns, or when you're about to come before people is arranged, and I tend not to listen too much to the last person before me, who reads the poems, because I try to concentrate on my own, and on my own performance and reading. And Amanda Gorman, she did a terrific job, I would say, by reading her own poem, which is a pretty long poem. I had a look at it. You can read it in The Guardian, Friday's Guardian. The poem, The Hill That We Climb, I think. The Hill That We Climb is the title of the poem. And she finished this poem a few days before the inauguration. She was in the middle of writing that poem when this storm, this raid to the Capitol happened, and she then forced herself in a way because of these events too. And maybe I think she knew that she was going to, yes, she knew that she was going to perform before the president. It is the wife of Joe Biden who set her eyes on her work, and she heard her read the poem, her poems, and she contacted her. It is not the first time that a poet, the poetess, a poet steps in front of an audience at the inauguration, and that was during Bill Clinton's inauguration too, when they asked a poet to perform. So she is, if not the second, or then one of the poets, of course, who had the honor to perform alongside, of course, big names like you've heard it, big stars, who were actually in the Biden camp. But Amanda and her poem, "The Hill That We Climb," hill, the hill, and I'm going to make a short analysis of this poem, just short one, a brief one. She used the hill that we climb, and somehow when I got to know the title of her poem, the first idea that I had was Kate Bush's song, title of the song, running up that hill, which is one of my, I think, most it is a very famous song, of course, and it is one of my favorite songs too, by Kate Bush. Kate Bush has several songs which I like very much. So hill, when we're talking about, these are nouns actually. She used a lot of nouns alongside verbs, and her writing is not too much stuffed with how should I say, not too much stuffed with adjectives. Of course, there are some adjectives, but let me show you. And I'm beginning when I'm showing you this paper. I'm starting off with the first words, maybe the first nouns, and how they came along in this poem. These are all listed on this paper, so you can see the stream of her thoughts, and the nouns which you can come across in this poem. So the first one, of course, the day. It begins with day actually. And from day on, you've got here dawn. So the parts of the day are among the words which she used in the poem. So day and dawn. Day, light, and dawn, they all signify, so parts of day, day, when it's day, it's light, and it's dawn, light, you get even more and more light. So from the dark, we descend, or we come to dawn. So more and more light coming into the day. Well, day is even, full of light. So day, light, and dawn. And shade as the antipode, or the opposite of that. So this is this contrast between the light and the dark. The dark was before, and now light comes. So this turn and this difference, this change is imminent, and this change of presidents coming now. So to say, there is a big change. So daylight, shade, and dawn. And then beast. The beast, fighting the beast. What kind of beast? Again, beast is a metaphor. A beast is an impersonification of all that is bad. Beast. Then you've got justice. Just and justice are words, again, which you can find in the poem. Justice. Day, light, justice, dawn. So it all can be perceived together, meaning ratio, rational, light. And when there's justice, when there's just and everything is normal. Nation, country, and then you've got also globe, also in the poem, and then it goes on to say, goes to the past. Past is also, the past, American past is also mentioned. Slavery, slaves. So slave. Divide and division. Again, this is the great change. The country was divided. It experienced division, and now comes another force, another power, which has as its task to rectify this division, to bring things back to normal if it's possible. Arms. And sometimes words are brought together. The same word is mentioned twice, but with a different meaning. Arms can have, in English, arms like weapons, and arms parts of body. So fighting with arms, fighting the beast with arms, and then we should actually use our arms. And arms, now comes some German word to my mind, umarmen, umarmen, so embrace. To embrace the nation, again, with justice, just, light, and so on. So these words come so naturally, one after the other. The poem, of course, is not short as we actually tend to see them printed. It's like more like, let's say, T.S. Eliot's, or which is far longer. It could have been abbreviated, but okay, this is one of the poets writes to write as she deems it right. To write as she deems it right. Yes. Vine and fig tree are again in the same sentence. Wine and fig tree. It says, according to the scripture, people or man is supposed to sit under the vine tree or wine and a fig tree as a free man, and not to be afraid. And then it comes victory, bridges, and pride, and so on and so on. I've just used several of these now. I didn't pay much attention to the verbs, but verbs are also crucial to the whole idea, of course, because nouns carry the majority of meaning, and then come verbs to make to add some nuance to it. But what's very interesting to me is that poetry or poets are again regarded or esteemed. In America, it's a normal thing, but we have to, of course, wait for that to happen in Croatia. Croatians, there are a lot of good poets at the moment, and I would say that 2020 was a year somehow of poetry, with several poets coming to eminence, and they, of course, with their books and with their awards and recognition. In Croatia, there are several awards being given out to cultural or poets or novelists, and poets this time were given a fair share, I'd say. Why is it too dark? A bit dark, yes, dark. And not just that, poets are also starting to invade theatre. So theatrical pieces written by poets are brought onto stage, which is also very, very good development, very good news for this branch of literature. And I would say that poetry is in higher demand now in Croatia. In the US, it's a normal thing, I think, because the and the UK have a far more famous and important literature world, and their awards really have a more gravity and more earnestness. They lend even more sums to poets so they can carry on with their work, and this is of course a great thing to hear. Well, if you would like to comment Amanda's performance, she stood out from the crowd, and from the crowd, of course, she was standing opposite the crowd. How she performed, how she recited. I would be very glad if you could comment on that. And I wish you all a very nice Saturday. Although here it rains, I hope that it will just rain. If it rains, then it will rain down with calm and peace and assuredness that that this all bad that we are engulfed in and surrounded with will in short will somehow disappear. Maybe not that quickly, but we must be patient and await this to pass too. So have a nice Saturday and a nice Sunday. See you all.